Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into what I think is a genuine revolution happening in software development. It's a massive shift that's changing the very definition of how we create things, right from the ground up. Let's get right into it.
Just think about this for a second. What if you didn't have to sweat every semicolon, every line of code? What if you could just describe your idea in plain English and have a complete, working product just appear? That's the wild, powerful idea we're digging into today.
But first, to really get why this is such a game changer, we have to understand the problem it's solving. So let's talk about the developer's dilemma, the daily grind and the frustrations that come with being a modern developer.
Does this look familiar? That feeling of being totally bogged down, stuck in a rut where all your creative energy just gets drained by the sheer amount of tedious, repetitive work? We've all been there.
And this slide, man, it just nails it. This is the invisible work, right? The endless boilerplate code for basic CRUD interfaces. The create, read, update, delete stuff that's the backbone of almost every app. It's the hours spent wrestling with config files and dependencies, the mental gymnastics of learning yet another new framework, and that constant context switching that just kills your focus. All this stuff is necessary, but it compresses your creativity down to almost nothing.
But what if we could just flip that script completely? This is where AI agents come into the picture. And we're not just talking about another tool. We're talking about a genuine, honest-to-goodness paradigm shift in how we build things. And this table just lays it out so perfectly. We're moving from being a manual coder, painstakingly translating our logic into picky syntax, to becoming a creative conductor. You just describe what you need, and the AI orchestra plays the music. Instead of spending hours passively hunting for answers on Google and Stack Overflow, you get active generation of a solution that actually runs. It's a move away from juggling a dozen fragmented tools to one seamless integrated workflow.
I love this way of thinking about it, the value pyramid. For so long, developers have been stuck at the very bottom, buried in the nitty-gritty of code implementation. Well, AI agents are basically taking over that entire bottom layer. They're freeing us up to climb the pyramid and focus on what really matters, elegant system design, and, at the very top, delivering real user value and driving business innovation. That's where you really move the needle.
So, how does this all actually work? I promise, it's not some black magic. It's all about structure. Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the brain of these AI agents to see how they turn a simple request into amazing, high-quality code.
Okay, so the secret sauce here is all in how you ask. There's this awesome framework called Crispy, and it's basically the golden rule for prompts. You give the AI a capacity and a role like, hey, you're an expert developer. You give it a clear request. You tell it what input to expect and the exact steps to follow. Then you add practical constraints, like use the Flask framework. And finally, you tell it the example and output format you want. It's this structure that makes the results so reliable and so good. All right, enough with the theory, right? Let's get to the really exciting part and see how this all comes together in the real world. I'm talking tangible proof of what these agents can do. It all starts with something so simple, so human. Not a dense technical spec, just an idea, a single sentence expressing what you want to create.
The first thing the AI does is pretty incredible. It puts on its product manager hat. It takes that super vague idea and just explodes it into a detailed product requirements document, thinking through features, the UI, the tech stack, the whole shebang.
Then, once that plan is solid, bam, it switches hats. Now, it's acting as a senior developer. It takes that detailed spec it just created and writes all the code needed to actually build the thing.
And the result? A complete, fully playable game ready to go in any web browser. I mean, think about that. A whole game generated from a single simple sentence. That's the kind of power we're talking about.
And look, this isn't just a toy for making little games. Think bigger. A full-blown MVP, a Next.js app with file uploads, API integrations, the works. A project like that would normally take a small team a couple of weeks, easy. With an AI agent, it was built in just 2 days. That's not just an improvement, that's a total transformation of the timeline.
But these agents are definitely not one-trick ponies. Generating game logic is one thing. It's happening inside a closed box, It's self-contained. But what about tasks that need to know about the real, messy, outside world? Let's look at another example.
So check this out. For this second case study, the prompt was to build a company website for DeepSeek, which is a real AI company. This means the AI needs real, up-to-date information that it doesn't already have.
So here's how it works. We basically give the AI a superpower, access to a Google search tool.
It actively goes out, searches for real information about the company, synthesizes and aggregates what it finds, and then uses that real-world context to generate a complete, beautiful, responsive website with accurate, relevant content. It's incredible.
So what does all this mean? Where is this all going? This is about so much more than just writing code faster. This is about the future of creating, period.
And this really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. This technology is not about replacing developers. It's about liberating them. It's about freeing them from all the tedious, low-value work that bogs them down and burns them out.
It elevates the role of the creator entirely. It's that shift we saw earlier. We stop being manual coders and we become the creative conductors, the high-level system designers. We get to focus our energy on the big picture, the architecture, the vision, and the user experience.
And that leaves us with this one kind of huge question to chew on. When the physical act of writing code becomes as fast as thought, what then truly defines a creator? Is it the quality of our ideas, the clarity of our vision, the elegance of the prompts we design? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.